Hi, everyone.
Hi, James.
Welcome to BeerThralls Present Beer Protocol. I'm James, and I'm drinking rum and coke. Yeah, I have a Firefly glass.
Hi,
Uh,
I'm Matt. I'm drinking Lagavulin 8. You know, your picture doesn't look non-moving when your wine is just
he's
sloshing back and forth in
still
your glass, sir.
blinking.
Right before we hit record, James asked me if I was happy.
I asked you if you had a drink. I didn't care if you were happy.
So now I'm just staring into the middle distance thinking, am I happy?
The
No,
answer is
you're a human.
no.
You're never happy. That's
All right,
called the
quick
human
side story.
condition.
No,
Today's the
God.
first of the month. Pay your rents. Also,
Oh,
Pay
I
yes, I
decided to
did
rent.
see
clean
that.
my house. I'm going to try to be
Pay
better
your
about monthly
mortgage.
cleaning.
Oh, I already paid my mortgage.
And so I put on a happy playlist today. It's
It
literally in
didn't work.
Spotify, my happy playlist. So you remember that trend over the last few years of very upbeat songs that are depressing as shit?
I
Sure.
know there's a song called "I'm So Happy."
There's that one. Stuff like Jonathan Colton's "I Feel Fantastic," very upbeat, which is about taking drugs to cope, or literally a song that just basically said
I mean,
"Stay alive, it's gonna be okay."
Oh,
I
God.
mean, those make me happy.
You're
So that's what
depressing.
I've been listening to today. Is
Uh,
lots and lots of
I mean, if
ironic songs that Spotify, because it only looks at musical algorithm, can't
Yeah.
identify lyrical dissonance.
I
And
just hear new age emo music, so
With that in mind, gentlemen,
also,
shake, clink.
I have just some Pinot Grigio. Cheers. So today, we were asked to take a look at what a convocation list would look like. And so
This is what it looks like. Thanks for
yeah,
everyone for watching.
one of our
bye.
members who couldn't be here, has sent in this list, and so we're going to talk about it. He's not here to defend himself, but we had a good conversation with him previously. So, and to be fair, this lines up a lot with ideas I had going into today's discussion.
Yeah, there's two in here that I would probably not have, but
And Josh
and
already
one
plays
switched
5
out.
places better than us in tournaments, so apparently your
That's
opinion's
true.
not going to be very valid.
Yeah.
So this convocation list is going to be a little interesting because convocation is a weird, somewhat anti-synergistic faction at times. But starting at the top, you may immediately notice that we've already broken rules, which is there's
We did?
11 characters
Oh,
listed.
yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't even
there's
notice
11
that.
characters. There's a reason.
Because there's a reason. Wong at the very bottom needs to come into this list somewhere. So
Yes.
our recommendation, our mission team, is how to get Wong, a 2-threat model, onto this 10-man roster by cutting someone.
Winter Soldier.
And we
Cool.
Yeah.
just have to go back to Josh and tell him who to cut.
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Done.
I will fight you. So,
You
starting
make
at the
that
top,
threat a lot.
I have yet to fight you, so we don't know whether that threat has any weight.
I'm going to assume no.
Anyway, you have Clea, Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme. It is worth noting this is Sorcerer Supreme, not Original Strange.
Correct.
Original Strange is a convocation model and could have been the roster. Dr. Voodoo, Magic, Blade, Ghost Rider, Winter Soldier, Ancient One, Hood, Nick Fury, and then we need to get Wong in here somewhere.
So
overall,
also we were talking about uh Ghost Rider possibly being
well,
Defender.
before we talk about that, let's pivot and look at what do we actually have on the table before we talk about making changes.
I got a keyboard. I got my mouse pad.
You can just mute him, Jake. You realize that, right?
Look, I'm making him drink.
Oh, you're making him chug. Fuck yes.
Game off. All right, so
That must be a really cheap bottle of wine. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Barefoot.
We have the
Ugh.
basic convocation models. We've got Clea, Strange, Voodoo, Magic. That's kind of the an ancient one. That's kind of the hand.
But
yeah,
no
Voodoo.
Mordo.
No
Yeah, I was
Mordo.
about to say that.
So what are we looking at here is kind of looking at what we had talked about with Josh beforehand. Convocation does have a bit of a problem where it has too many decent to good support models and not necessarily enough core working models.
Yes.
So Mordo, Clea, and Wong are all doing different kinds of support. Mordo is doing status ailment focused support with some flexibility for anti control, as well as being a pretty okay a large base, medium mover with flight, which gives him a lot of flexibility. Clea has a lot of utility. She has 3 very good support options she can do every round. And she has a way to generate enough power to get all 3 of those at the cost of losing her flexibility for actions, as well as potentially cutting herself. And then finally, Wong is a 2-threat model who doesn't really do a lot with his actions most turns, but he actually has more ways to spend his actions than most models. Seeing as he has a couple superpowers which cost actions, either to generate himself a power or to move him into position, but he can also heal and he can donate power for pulling off unsuspected plays or by getting someone just over the hump to use a spender on their turn.
Yep.
Of the mix-up here, I actually kind of lean with Josh of Clea, Mordo, and Wong. Mordo, if you're not playing ailment heavy, or if you're not going to be using emphasis of ailments, I would probably cut Mordo.
Or giving somebody the boost. Like I throwing Mordo in.
Combat boost is extremely utilitarian and good. So that is the part that hurts, is giving up the damage, the potential damage boost. But Clea has a teleport and a throw, which have guaranteed impacts on the table, whereas a couple extra dice does not necessarily mean it's going to get you anything.
This list is more of a control / positioning list as opposed to I'm throwing Carnage at something and Carnage is just going to rip it to pieces. That's why Mordo doesn't quite fit into it, and then Magic and Clea both have their little teleports. There's a lot of positioning.
One also has her self-teleport.
Voodoo has the, hey, you can't control that point anymore. Drop your objectives.
No matter what happens.
I think a lot of the actual Convocation models are there as a controlling piece. Strange, just to give you a little bit of a combat boost.
Bonus.
Sir, have you forgotten what Sorcerer Supreme Strange does?
He heals.
No, that's original Strange.
That's original Strange.
This is Strange too.
I forgot.
His only superpower is the Scalpel Strange. Cost 4, pick a model, place them within range 2.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
Sorcerer Supreme Strange is the king of controlled placement because he's literally. Actually, let's pull him up real quick. Make sure I remember this right. Because I think he has to target a model within range 2 of him, but he can teleport them range 3. So you can just yeet someone's Juggernaut across the table and remove them from any form of contention for a turn if he's already activated.
Now, with that in mind, you do need some combat.
Isn't that what Magic
Which
is for?
Sorcerer Supreme does pretty well.
Yeah, but
and Blade,
Ghost Rider, Blade, Winter Soldier, Hood, Nick Fury, kinda. We'll get to Nick Fury, but those are kind of like I need somebody to beat that guy up.
I would actually cut Nick Fury.
Question: do you? Well, if you're playing a powerful enough control list, do you actually have to kill anyone?
So,
to be fair, I'm being a little pedantic, but that is a core assumption in a lot of list building that you have to be able to deal damage to your opponent.
Yes and no.
I kind of argue you have to be able to deal damage at the right time to the right model.
Yes.
Does every list need to be able to muscle down Juggernaut? God, no.
No.
Every list needs to have some kind of plan for that. But if you can just have one model that can put the hurt on something when someone's already close for being worn down, it's the difference between taking someone out to take them out or dazing someone so they don't contest a point.
So I think you're also kind of looking at that a little bit.
Although Strange Supreme hits pretty hard, and don't underestimate Ancient One either.
Yeah, I think you're kind of looking at that at a. You can get away with just having a full control list, and I don't believe in this game you can. I don't think you can focus directly on a single a single point of this is what my list does. I'm just doing control. I'm just contesting points. I think you need to have something in there that is going to be able to chase down somebody like Spider Friends or another Nick Fury list where they're trying to grab the herbs. You need to have somebody there who's going to be like, yeah, I can do all this fancy stuff and make you drop things with Dr. Voodoo. I can make you teleport you around. But you still need somebody there to walk up, smack a bitch, and tell them to drop their stuff when they're dazed.
So I'll kind of counter that slightly by just pointing out that I don't think it's physically possible to have a pure control list, just because all of the models here that do control also have attacks, and most control effects, their superpowers, don't cost their actions. They're still attacking.
Yeah.
It's not like you're standing there not doing anything. So
But-
bringing a whole model whose entire goal is to be, I'm the one that kills people. Meanwhile, Sorcerer Supreme Strange is over here with his 5 dice, range 3 Mystic Pierce. And
Yeah.
just like, I've been clubbing 3 threat models by myself and teleporting Juggernaut at the same time.
Jake,
Did we need you?
I'm going to make something, and I want you to mark this down on the calendar.
An apology?
I'm going to make...
That'll never happen from James.
I'm going to make a
it.
sports ball reference. So, on a football team, you just can't have a bunch of running backs. You have to have like defenders. You have to have a quarterback. You got to have.
Okay, James,
like,
stop before you hurt people.
I know.
Not like any of that is anything correct.
James, Guild Ball died for a reason.
But like you can't just go cool. Like, yeah, Swiss Army knives are nice to have in your list, but you do need to have somebody in your list that's going to be able to hurt somebody. I think Ghost Rider is the person in this list that does that. You can switch them out with Juggernaut, but you need to have one of those things.
Again, I feel like you're jumping ahead a little bit because
to Jake's point, all their control is based off of superpowers. They still have 2 actions. They still have highly damaging attacks. Like having Clea's still gonna attack unless she needs to generate 3 power that turn.
It's like,
and she can still do her other shit.
Sorry.
I
brought a team of orphans and I gave them switchblades, and now you're looking at me going, okay, but who's gonna cut a man? All of them.
Yeah,
all of them can hit people.
But they're still cute orphans. Well, okay, what age orphans? Are they like 5-year-olds or are they like 18-year-olds?
12-year-olds.
Just
Are we
because they're
talking
here for
Batman?
Yeah, but to be to Jake's point, Sorcerer Supreme is going to be doing all of his stuff, and he's a massive damage dealer.
Then why
Magic
even
does the same stuff? So this is a control list.
Okay.
Every control list does a lot of damage.
Why bring Blade?
Because he's a splash. Again, that's the thing I'm trying to prevent us from getting ahead of is what is your actual Convocation drop?
So
why did I bring this one man in the 10 roster list to splash to specific scenarios? Like, what does an ideal game look like? Who do you bring?
I mean, okay, core 3. Add this list the core 3.
I mean, I think he actually did list it. Let me see if I can verify.
It's gonna be Magic. It's gonna be Magic, Sorcerer Supreme, and Voodoo.
I feel like you're wrong.
Oh, core 3 models?
Or Clea.
It's Clea, Magic, and Ghost Rider, and then whatever else based on point value is what Josh actually said. Clea, Magic, either Voodoo or Ancient One, then Ghost Rider.
I would say Voodoo is better than Ancient One, but sure.
Depends on what's going on.
But then you're looking at 6 points for Clea Magic, and another 4. So you're looking at a 10-point minimum.
And then Ghost Rider for 5, so 15.
15 points. So
15 core.
At a 17, at a 16, you're just screwed.
At a 16, you potentially drop your 4 threat to another 3 threat and take Wonder Soldier
and bring Wong, which you're gonna have. So the problem with this list I have is that it only has 1 2-point, and that's Wong.
But I don't think he needs a different 2-point.
I don't think he does either.
And I don't think Wong is perfect if you're going to run Convocation because he's in faction.
I agree. I agree that Wong is a perfect 2-point drop for this list. Now, Ghost Rider, I can see having Blade in the list if you want to splash into Midnight Suns.
Which is exactly why he's here. So when he's up against someone who's like, Convocation's not going to play well into Magneto in general, switch to Midnight Suns.
I don't see a purpose for Nick Fury.
To be fair, Ghost Rider is almost definitely here because he's in Midnight Suns and makes it easier to switch to Midnight Suns.
And he could play very nicely with Convocation as well.
And I can see Winter Soldier.
Convocation and Midnight Suns work really well together because they have different sort of emphasis in their list building. Midnight Suns is a much more aggressive, still has some position base so they can control their own positioning really well, but it's a fairly aggressive, hard-hitting list with fewer control elements and more direct damage.
And I just realized I started yelling, so I'm starting spiking on the red. Sorry about that. But I can
That's
also
okay,
see
James.
I can also see having Winter Soldier, because Winter Soldier has the I count as blah on list building, and he'll fit into both Midnight Suns and Convocation. The one I can see Hood. Hood's a good character.
Why can you see Hood?
I can see Hood for the flipping. He's either a combat monkey or a control monkey.
Hood does not have control.
He has a little bit of
Yeah,
control.
I would rather have Winter Soldier over Hood.
Oh
any
no,
day.
I'm
So
saying take out Nick Fury.
I know that's where you're trying to build up to, and I'm trying to cut you off at the knees before you get there.
You have to get a step ladder. I'm really tall.
You're not that tall.
Yeah.
You're within the average deviation for
A human.
Yeah, you're still short enough. I can slap you if I need to. You're
Hood
fine.
has a range 3 heal that puts bleed on afterwards, which can combo weirdly with blade. He has his invisibility cloak to give him some sort of dodginess, but he also has a mystic range 3 rapid fire. So Hood is here for offense. Hood is also here specifically
Is Hood Midnight
to play
Suns?
Hood's gang.
Is Hood's Midnight Sun?
I don't remember.
Hood is not affiliated with either Midnight Suns or
Okay.
Convocation. He
So
is Criminal Syndicate.
He is full splash.
He is a full splash for his tactic card, which for a round gives you essentially a free reroll on an offensive die.
Okay. So who would so to move forward, who would you get rid of in that list to put Wong in?
Fury. I see no point in Fury. I mean, yes, I know he's good for grabbing tokens, but I see
Jake.
Say
it, Jake.
Nick Fury is simply here to play with. Be like, I wonder how Nick Fury plays. I wonder how Grunts play with this.
No, fucking taking it out.
No, I think Nick Fury will leave in for one very simple, cheesy exploit that I hope that they patch out. Come back.
What's the exploit?
The Iron Books of Shimogorath is a very good, borderline essential tactic card for Convocation. As a quick reminder for what it do. I'm on the wrong category on MCP.
You can a Convocation character may spend 2 power during the power phase to play his card. This round, when an enemy targets an ally with a physical attack, you may choose to change the attack to Mystic.
Yeah, how does that help Fury?
The important paragraph:
when an allied character is
KO'd, you can return this card after that effect is resolved. You can return this card to your available team tactic. Grunts, because of their incredible easiness to KO, you keep spawning grunts, your opponent keeps taking them out, and you keep getting the Iron Books back round after round after round.
Fix that fucking glitch.
It sounds cool.
Nick Fury is an exploit to take Convocation's tankiness way higher than it was initially intended to be.
Yes.
Now, does he have the points for Nick Fury in most games? I'd argue no. And it's still going to be situational on when you take Fury.
Yeah.
I think if you're playing on a very extract-heavy map, or if there's one really critical extract, then I think Fury makes more sense because he plays into extracts so well.
Fine, get rid of Hood.
Wait, isn't there like on Shadowland Daredevil, isn't there like something that says, yeah, these people do this and then they immediately KO?
Isn't the ninjas
the pass off
have that? So yes, ninjas would be better at triggering this particular thing. However, I think Fury's better and a lot more interesting than ninjas
for this list.
So, I'm
Hood. Just get rid of Hood.
No, I'm still saying get rid of Nick Fury, but it is a toss up. If you would like, Nick Fury Hood is kind of like the who do you want to assemble more of? Like it really comes down to that. That's the switch off. Is do which honestly, model you like better?
With that stupid exploit, bringing Nick Fury is part of your how to deal with Juggernaut.
You just turn all of his attacks to your best defense and just tank through it, I guess.
Yeah.
And then hope somebody takes out a grunt.
So no, just kind of like again pulling up a little bit, looking at the so of the individuals on here, Blade, Ghost Rider are a great combo to have. 2 of your slots be dedicated to, so you can pivot to Midnight Suns. Dr. Voodoo is also Midnight Suns affiliated.
Yep.
Winter Soldier can pretend to be. That's enough to get a Midnight, and Wong. That's enough to get a Midnight Suns. I was originally going to say, why not Moon Knight? But Winter Soldier and Moon Knight have a similar capability.
Isn't Deal with the Devil also the one that says when Ghost Rider's KO'd, bring him back?
The tactic card Deal with the Devil brings back Ghost Rider, which gives him a supreme level of tankiness. If you have a throwaway model, Wong. Like Wong is like custom built to be the perfect person to deal with the devil and take out. You trade your two threat support model for your 5-threat beat stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the time he goes down, Wong's not really that necessary anymore.
Yeah.
Even better, in games I've played with Midnight Suns, Wong is actually pretty good at keeping Ghost Rider alive with his heal, his condition removal. So your opponent has to work even harder to bring down Ghost Rider. It's all about how many actions can you burn.
Yeah.
So Wong and Ghost Rider are a really potent combo.
Journey Through Limbo, that's Magic's teleport.
What I see in this list that I like myself, because that's the kind of thing I would be looking for, is if I'm looking at a 3-threat splash, I'm looking at what tactic cards they bring, because that's their unique flair they can add to the table. Magic has a great tactic card.
Yep.
Hood has a great tactic card.
Can you remind me what Hood's gang does?
It's sure. A reroll, I thought, and that was it.
I will get the exact text for you in just a second.
Because I think I remember what it does, but the thing is that for some reason I can't bring myself to bring Hood in my Criminal Syndicate list, and I don't know.
You honestly should.
I should. Everyone's like, no, it's like one of the best models for Criminal Syndicate, and for some reason I just can't bring it.
It's because me and you are bad players, and we don't understand what good is.
Yeah. You have a hard time letting go of your babies.
I do.
Hood, normal, not when he's possessed, can play this card during his activation, but it costs nothing. This round, when an allied character is attacking an enemy, contesting, or holding an objective token, they can reroll 1 attack dice. You literally get Shadowland Daredevil's leadership for a round.
Yeah, but I would still. It's good for.
It's good in Midnight Suns.
It's good in Midnight Suns.
More than it is in Convocation. Midnight Suns is an aggressive list, especially if you can have Hood play this, and then someone triggers Siege of Darkness on your next activation, and now you have rerolls for all the relevant positions.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you with your X-Force beating heart over there. Hood does have rapid fire on a Mystic attack, which I think is the only rapid fire Mystic.
Yeah.
So Hood himself actually can get a lot of mileage out of that tactic card.
Yeah.
If he just says, hey, I'm already within range 3, I'm going to pop Hood's gang, and then potentially 4 attacks with at least 1 die reroll.
But I'm still sitting here going, do I really need Hood that bad?
Do you want more dice to reroll on top of cables?
I think with this list, he does fit very well into Midnight Suns, and I think that's the reason the splash is there.
Yeah. It's important to realize this is a hybrid Midnight Suns and Convocation list. Now, kind of back at Convocation, Convocation has a lot of tactic cards, but not many of them are necessarily here. So Ironbound Books of Shimogorath, utterly essential.
Yep.
It's how Convocation overcomes its communal weakness of physical attacks. Bane of Dambala. Since everything is so evocatively named, I should remember it, but I don't all the time.
When an attack made by a character is resolved, the attack roll contains one or more blah blah. It may spend 1 place card.
Hits.
Wild or hits. The target character and enemy characters within 2 gain root. That's pretty damn good.
Yep, root is the condition that makes you pay 1 more to activate your superpowers. It's a great way to put a power tax on certain characters.
Yeah.
Especially support characters have a hard time overcoming that. Like Clea, for example. Root breaks Clea.
Yeah.
Because her power math is calculated on a specific amount of power generation a turn.
Yeah. The bars, I don't remember.
The bars with no doors is their leadership. So as a reminder, Convocation's leadership is a bit weird. You can either have a really complicated ability that checks for activated tokens. Don't. Or you could have when you get damaged by an enemy effect, you can pay 1 power to place yourself within 1 of your current positions.
That was the good part of it. Yeah. The planes.
That is great. Real quick, let me talk about that, because the way I saw Josh, the person who made this list, play it is actually really relevant. It's a great way to screw with people using rapid fire.
Yep.
Because they invest on a specific target. You can only rapid fire onto the same target, but if your 1 place is enough to throw you completely away, which, again, is a quick reminder. If this coaster is my base, and this finger is my 1-inch ruler stick, I don't have to place like that when I'm doing my within 1 place. I can go like this and just put the entire base on the other side.
Yeah.
As long as any part of your base is within 1 of your where you started, you are good. So a large base model like Sorcerer Supreme Strange, Ghost Rider, or even a solid small model can get a lot of movement and repositioning out of a 1-inch place. So good to remember defensively is it can get you out of a lot of. If your opponent is basically measuring on the very edge of their range, that ability gets you out of a lot of damage.
Sometimes gets you like cover because you're just getting like a line through something. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
It's not at all bad leadership. Is it as good as just Midnight Suns having that on a stick during your activation?
No, but.
And then you can read planes. That's the other one that they have. It's just they get to reroll dice.
Not just get to reroll dice, sir.
Reroll a number of attack dice.
Any Convocation can spend 3 power. Again, any tactic card that costs 3 power is Steve.
Better be good.
Better be good. Choose an enemy. Allied characters can reroll any number of attack dice when making mystic attacks that target the chosen character.
Yeah.
This is extremely strong. Basically, this is kind of to your answer, James, of how do you beat someone down when you need to? How do you burn down Juggernaut? How do you take out a key target? This is it. You do it with a tactic card instead of an entire model slot.
Yeah. And also, go ahead. I'm just going to move on.
Well, it also incentivizes you to make sure that you bring mystic attackers,
which you do with like Hood and everything else.
Yep.
Right.
Heads up, we're running long.
Yeah. So.
Already, yeah. Well, our list episodes go long.
Yeah. So, with this list, you can see the secure and extracts that Josh chose. Are you focusing more on the extracts because we want to just like because there is like the worthy is hammers. The Mastani formula is you get an extra mystic attack, you get the books. Research Station is I believe also another 4.
Research Station is the 2 at the either end and the researcher in the middle that you are playing hot potato pass the puck with.
That's right.
That's a weird one. That's the one I'm thinking of.
So
I think
with this list you want to focus more on the extracts.
Well, I mean, you have to pick them no matter what happens, but
right. But I think you kind of want to do more of the extract tokens with this. You want to have more of the control and work off of their secures.
Yes. What I'll also note about the researcher and why I think a lot of people should consider taking it is the researcher, while it is an extract, it actually does not play like an extract. It can't be picked up. Because the researcher is essentially a token that when you are securing it using the secure rules of contesting, you can move the researcher towards your point scoring zone.
Oh, that's why I never took it as Criminal Syndicate because I couldn't pick them up.
Yeah,
right. But this also means no one gives a fuck about Dr. Voodoo or Black Cat.
Right.
Because they can't make you drop it. And Black Cat can't steal it. So that one scenario is a solid thing to have in your 3 extracts if you're worried about those particular characters making you sad.
So never ever take it. It's horrible. It's the worst thing ever.
What box do I have to buy that one in?
You don't. It's terrible. It's the worst thing ever. Don't ever get it.
Researchers is in box 63, which is
I think it's one of the Convocation
Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Oh god dang it!
I just bought that.
2 genuinely excellent models.
Hey James, guess what I'm bringing now?
Son of a bitch. So I think that's a pretty good list. So how would you...
Okay, back to our original question.
How would
Damned
you
with Fate Praise?
How would you how would you adjust this? How would you walk into a game and go, cool, I need to decide, now I have this list, I need to decide what I'm going to do with it. The core we already said was Clea, Magic.
That was his core.
His core.
My core would probably include Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, because I love that boy.
Mm,
I mean, mine's Strange,
like I would
Clea, Magic. So
Ghost Rider is so freaking good after his update, though. Like Ghost Rider might actually be better than Sorcerer Supreme Strange pound for pound consistently.
That's my problem. Is I'm like, I can take Ghost Rider and bring him back again.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so you get to choose your extracts and you get to see your extracts and secures before you choose the models. So I think that's going to depend on if I take Strange or if I take Ghost Rider.
Or Fury.
Or Fury.
Yeah. I think
I'm not taking Fury.
What I'll also point out is that these scenarios tend to be, with the exception of the research station, 17 or higher.
Mm-hmm.
So you are going to be running relatively either a lot of models going wide against certain opponent teams like Sam Spam, or you're going to be facing relatively tall like Black Order with stones.
Yep.
So you're going to be higher threat games, so plan accordingly. It's going to let you bring more 4 threats. You might be able to swing 2 5 threats.
Yeah.
It is worth noting there's no 6 threat model or higher on this list, so you're going to be probably running 4 to 5 models a game.
I also think that what you want to do with this list is with any Convocation list. I don't think you want to try to go killy. I think you either want to just fuck with your opponent or grab your extracts and do control game.
I feel like this particular roster is going to generate lots of games where you have several reliable support and beat sticks. Ghost Rider and Clea is a solid. Ghost Rider, Wong, and Clea is a 10-point package that's going to get you to a great start for a lot of games. It is worth noting that Convocation's flexible leadership on who has the leadership card does play a role here. Is you do not have to, there's no particular person who has to take it. It's only saying you have to take Strange. If you're in a position where you have certain high threat models that are hard to deal with on points or against Criminal Syndicate, I would probably lean towards Sorcerer Supreme Strange, because the Scalpel can just ruin Criminal Syndicate's whole day.
Yep. I as much as I don't want to say how you actually hurt Criminal Syndicate, moving him off of points is kind of sucky for us.
Specifically moving them off of points where they have no say in the matter. It's not an attack. It's not a wild. It's just, I have 4 power.
Go to hell.
Yeah.
One of the things I would consider doing a Convocation, if you wanted to start from this and mix things up a little bit, have you considered Juggernaut? I think Juggernaut's an interesting splash in Convocation. And that he has the exact thing Convocation lacks, which is sturdiness against physical attacks, as well as you can't throw things at him and kill him pretty trivially.
All right, so Jake, Juggernaut. I think Juggernaut's going to have a problem. Will Juggernaut have a problem with Iron Books? Is it going to screw him up?
Juggernaut loves Iron Books because Juggernaut has 4 physical defense and 5 mystic defense on his healthy side. So if you use Iron Books early in the match, which you probably will, it's usually when you don't want your people to die as early. He actually gets a defensive buff on top of his other defensive tech of being able to just reduce damage down to 0. So no, it's a rare case where the model you're bringing in to counter physical damage still gets buffed by Iron Books.
So is that better? Is that better with his tactic cards than Ghost Rider with his I come back again?
I think it depends on what you're going against.
I mean,
if this was not a dual Midnight Suns and Convocation list, I would say probably Juggernaut over Ghost Rider, because Juggernaut also helps cover a Convocation weakness, which is Convocation, even though Iron Books helps against attacks, it does not help against throw. It does not improve their dodge rolls. So throwing things at the Convocation is still very effective.
And I did think of something with Nick Fury and Winter Soldier. When the grunts die, Winter Soldier can shoot the person who actually killed the grunt. So that's actually a nice little thing. But
if you're splashing in Nick Fury to deal with an extract scenario, you probably want to try to find a way to splash in Winter Soldier for that specific synergy.
So yeah,
so
that's what we thought.
Last question, I guess we need to answer is, who do we tell him to cut?
Hood. I mean, if you're gonna keep Nick Fury and you want the Winter Soldier for that same synergy, it's the same synergy that falls in line with Convocation. So you can't get rid of Winter Soldier because now you're double dipping on the same interaction.
So here's my idea on this. I would actually cut Nick Fury because he has already a lot of 4 or 5 threats. Having Hood in there gives you an extra 3.
Yeah, I would also suggest Nick Fury. As much as I am looking forward to playing with Nick Fury, this list already has. This list is essentially either Midnight Suns or Convocation with a guest star, and there's too many guest stars currently. So just kind of, and Wong is someone who will see consistent enough play as a 2 threat because he's your point filler for meeting weird threat values. But also, I don't know, he's a good 2 threat and he'll get consistent play in either Convocation or Midnight Suns.
So there you go. I hope you enjoyed us like ripping people's lists apart and like trying to explain what the thought process behind it is. I would like to see somebody put this on the field and put a comment below. See, like, no, this worked great. I love this combination of things. Or tell us, no, you're absolutely wrong. You should totally get rid of Ancient One. Is to put in Hood and Nick Fury for some reason.
We really didn't talk about Ancient One, and I think it's because Ancient One is consistently pretty good at what she does. Like, don't cut her, because on the instance where you want her instead of Voodoo, they're going to do different things.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Also,
we're already running late. I'm not gonna say anything about that.
My Tiny Hill is as tempting as it is. I don't know if I would put Ancient One in the middle of the table. Give her a flank. I think she's actually really good at
she's better flanking. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all for watching. We look forward to having you join us on our Discord channel. You can find the link in our Facebook. And also, we're going to go stream some video games.
Yeah.
So, bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.